Good evening. The Paddy Chayefsky Laurel Award is presented each year to a WGA member who has advanced the literature of television and made outstanding contributions to the profession. This year, that honor goes to celebrated showrunner and my boss, Jenji Kohan. If you've met Jenji, she's most likely changed your life. And if you've watched her shows, you've met Jenji. She's a lot like the characters that populate her work, a portrait in contrasts, powerful but kind, modest but prolific, opinionated but with sprawling empathy, a serious person with a fanny pack. And until Jenji began writing for television, not the sort of person you'd seen represented on screen. She's spent her career giving audiences complicated characters, fairly, warmly, and hysterically rendered, and often with a great toilet hooch recipe. She has revolutionized the way we see women on screen, mostly by sheer volume. The number of dynamic, funny, complex roles she's created, especially for women, is staggering. If you've ever seen Jenji, you may have noticed she has a different hair color almost every month because her mother once told her, if you can't fix something, decorate it. But Jenji's never trying to fix her characters or the talent she fosters, simply give them the loudest voice. I'll never forget meeting Jenji while auditioning for Glow. To this day, I'm pretty convinced that I got the role because of an improv I did, rhyming Natasha and Boris with stomp on your clitoris. I play a Russian wrestling character, so if you haven't seen the show, that makes sense. Jenji has a pretty strong poker face in auditions, so getting that laugh from her will always be a point of pride for me. But I quickly learned that Jenji never withholds praise for good work. She never resists an opportunity to foster new talent. She's listening more often than she's telling you where to go or how to be or what your character's thinking. With her unique, hilarious, inclusive, and vibrant body of work, she has changed the lives of many. She has certainly changed mine. Take a look. We are proud to honor Jenji Kohan with the 2019 Paddy Chayefsky Laurel Award. Unfortunately, Jenji couldn't be here with us tonight. She's filming the final episode of Orange is the New Black, but she did send along this video message. Take a look.
Hi, writers. Thank you, Alison Brie, for all the nice things I can't hear you saying. You are a brilliant, complete package, awesome person and performer, and I'm grateful to work with you and envious of your core strength. First off, I want to say that I'm so sorry I couldn't be there in person to receive this illustrious award, but sadly, due to circumstances beyond my control, I didn't want to. It's not for lack of gratitude, but rather an abundance of dread, fear, and self-consciousness when it comes to award shows and public events in general. I'm a writer. I am not a performer, which means I have many things to say, but I prefer that other people say them. I have more excuses. I'm currently in New York shooting the final episode of Orange is the New Black, 7 years. Lots of feels around that. And also the food at these things is often really mediocre, but I eat it anyway. And then I go into the spiral of regret and anger and sadness at having eaten crap when I could have had something really good. So anyway, from the relative safety of digital recording, I want to express my thanks. I've been doing this for almost 30 years. I have a file cabinet full of pilots. I've worked in half-hour, hour variety and sketch, and hopefully I'm not done. I've been incredibly lucky to work with enormously talented and funny and kind people who dazzle me and make me look good. I love the people I work with. Life is too short to work with assholes, by the way. Don't be a dick. There's really no reason. If you're damaged, turn it inward. Don't smear it on others. That's my public service announcement. When I was in college, I was on a quiz bowl team with people who were much smarter than I. But then a question came up that none of the brainiacs could answer. Which illustrious American screenwriter won Academy Awards for the films Marty, The Hospital, and Network? I rang my buzzer and shouted, Paddy Chayefsky, because I was a child of Hollywood and I was the pop culture ringer, and we won. So this award has extra meaning for me. It represents victory. Paddy Chayefsky is also responsible for one of my favorite quotes. He said, "Artists don't talk about art. Artists talk about work." If I have anything to say to young writers, it's stop thinking of writing as art. Think of it as work. Writing is my work. It's what I do for a living, for my identity, for my pain, and for my joy. And if people think it's art or find comfort or joy or identification in it, so much the better. I am very honored that my fellow scribes have chosen to acknowledge my work with a heavy statuette of a bird. And now I have to get back to work. Enjoy the rest of your night, and thank you. And if you can make it through the evening without eating too much, might I suggest you hit the Taco Zone truck on Alvarado by the Vons when this is over. Get the mulitas. Or for those of you in New York, Veselka is always solid, as is Empanada Mama. Thank you.